In today's Leeds news, Kamara exit talk, Summerville interest latest, Rutter bid rejected, Llorente bid also rejected, and Leeds unlikely to face a points deduction. Morning folks, Jay here, Wednesday morning the 3rd of July at The View with your Leeds United news. Hope you're having a good week so far. There's a lot to get through, it's heating up, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of reaction online to stuff as well. There's bits and pieces to get through, mostly exits and rejections, but we'll cover it all off this morning. As I've said in previous videos this week, if anything changes between now and tonight, I will come back on a live stream in the evening to cover any of the gaps, because I'm aware a lot of people that watch this channel aren't on Twitter. I may not always get the information that is the freshest out there, so we'll cover that off as it changes. It's likely to change over the course of this week. It looks like everything is really picking up pace, and there's a lot right now, a lot. But we'll start off and we'll get into the Kamara rumours that popped up yesterday afternoon, and there have been rumblings of a Kamara exit from Leeds United in the past few days. Now, according to journalist Nicolo Shearer, a move to Stade Rennes is apparently getting closer. Kamara had a good season for Leeds last campaign, but Leeds might be looking for a more dynamic and advanced number 8 next season, with the expected return to midfield of Ethan Ampadu and with Ilya Groove becoming a mainstay in that central midfield area. At this point, it should be pointed out that any news or rumour around Kamara's exit is purely speculation at this point. Shearer does have a decent track record on this, but Adam Pope at BBC has said that Leeds United are not looking to sell Kamara in this window. So there's going to be a lot of interest. There's been some reaction to some bids yesterday. One person responded to the Georginio Rutter bid yesterday by saying, "What are we doing? The bid was rejected. Leeds can't do anything about bids coming in for their players. Unfortunately, all they can do is reject them when they come in. We need to find out who's the more legitimate source of information." There's a lot of people believing people with 20 followers on Twitter with breaking news. So I would just look around. There's a lot of noise and a lot of rumour and an awful lot of misinformation floating around, and some of that relates to the next story as well, which is the Crease Summerville interest latest, and it appears the noise around Crease Summerville is starting to gather some pace. Brighton contacted Leeds United a couple of weeks ago about an interest in the player. Nothing happened. We heard nothing concrete from that, and apparently Somerville himself is said to have rejected that initial approach. Somerville over the last couple of days has been linked with a return to Holland, as well as a move to Liverpool, Chelsea, and as of yesterday, Paris Saint-Germain have gotten involved in the situation and could be looking at a move for Crease Summerville. As Baron Cross said in his piece today, there's nothing that Leeds United can do about inquiries, and these are all inquiries right now and not offers, and Leeds can't stop clubs from bidding on their players. Leeds aren't giving out any information around that. The information is coming out via other journalists and news outlets. There have been no concrete offers on the table for Crescencio Somerville as of now. Brighton are said to still be interested in the player, as are Paris Saint-Germain. It is unlikely, in my opinion, that Crease Summerville will be here at the start of next season. It would be fantastic if he is. He looked very happy to be back in pre-season training yesterday. It was great to see him there and working hard, but there will be a lot of noise, and as I've said, Leeds are in the Championship, and every player in the Championship has a price. It's just whether other clubs are willing to pay it, and then what Leeds can do to replace these players. I won't react to any of these exits, or if any of them happen, until I see what comes in the door as well, and how that money is being reinvested into balancing the squad all around. But we did expect a Crease Summerville exit. Some people assumed that the Archie Gray exit meant that Crease wouldn't go. That might still happen depending on what kind of bid comes in, but right now there's no concrete offers on the table. There's nothing being accepted, and there's just an awful lot of noise around the player, and that is likely to continue moving forward for a while. Anyway, on the topic of rejected bids, Georginio Rutter had a bid rejected yesterday evening, and Baron Cross broke the news that Brighton had a £30 million bid. Georginio Rutter rejected by Leeds United yesterday. Rutter had 16 assists, coupled with the fact that he's viewed by clubs as one of the hottest young talents in Europe. That has increased the interest in the player. Rutter, also Leeds United's record signing at 35 million, and a £30 million bid might have returned some form of profit for Leeds, depending on how the initial structure of the deal was set up. But Leeds have rejected that bid. Rutter returned to pre-season yesterday, and only minutes after that story broke about Leeds rejecting the bid, Leeds put out a post on social media with Georginio Rutter waving to the camera and saying, "Hi, I'm back." Whether that was a deliberate thing or not remains to be seen. But going a step further than this, and in addition to that report, Graham Bailey at the Boot Room has gone a step further, claiming that Brighton have not just inquired about Georginio Rutter at Leeds United, but have also inquired again about Chris Somerville, Willie Gnonto and Glenn Kamara, and might be looking at a triple swoop for Leeds United players. What I would say on that one is take that with a large pinch of salt. Graham Bailey's track record is not fantastic. Bailey also stated that the £30 million bid for Rutter was a starting bid and that negotiations between both clubs are still ongoing. However, Baron Cross has said that Leeds United are not interested in selling Georginio Rutter. That, I assume, will all depend on the fee and the price. But he will be an important player for Leeds next season. After having that experience of a year under his belt in the Championship, you would expect more output from Georgie next year. He's an exciting player. He's an enjoyable player to watch. There's parts of his game he needs to round off and improve on. He's a young player, and that should be expected. But as according to Baron Cross, who I would right now on Leeds topics believe slightly more than Graham Bailey, Baron Cross has said Leeds United are not interested in selling Georginio Rutter right now. So take the Graham Bailey news with a little bit of salt, and those who know will know what I mean around Graham Bailey stuff. Again, continuing with the rejected bids situation, according to Adam Pope, Leeds United have rejected Real Betis' offer for Diego Llorente. Llorente's Roma move appeared to collapse last week after a handshake agreement had been done between Leeds and Roma when he moved there on loan of a £4.5 million fee should they decide to make the move permanent. Roma have been rumoured to be interested in the player, and the player himself is interested in staying at Roma, but that seems to have fallen down now as Roma have moved on to other targets, and that left the door open for Real Betis to come in after successfully negotiating a cut price deal for Mark Rocket from Leeds. But now Leeds are said to have rejected a bid that is rumoured to be £2.5 million for the player. Leeds looking for excess of £4.5 million, and their bid fell short of Leeds' evaluation. Llorente is noted as not having a future at Leeds United next season, but with no club, with no accepted offers on the table, and with his contract still owned by Leeds United, could we see a return of Diego Llorente to Leeds and Thorpe Arch for part of pre-season at least? And that remains to be seen. The player is very keen to get away from Leeds United, does not want to play in the Championship, and return to his homeland in Spain looks like it could be likely, but as of right now, the bids that have come in from Real Betis have fallen short of Leeds' valuation of the player, and Leeds are holding firm on what they want right now. That might change the longer the window goes on. Leeds may accept a lesser bid if no bigger bids come in for the player, but that again remains to be seen right now, and we'll cover that as and when we get it. And then Joe Donoghue in the Yorkshire Evening Post has done a piece on the PSR situation and the potential points deduction of Leeds. And in that piece, he has explained that the PSR points deduction is unlikely from Leeds United. Donoghue confirmed Leeds unlikely to receive any form of points deduction or PSR penalties for breaching financial fair play last year. Archie Gray's sale is said to have eased some of those worries. The sale commenced before the 30th of June PSR deadline, and as a result can be backdated to last season's financials. Leeds are not said to have needed the full £40 million in order to stave off the PSR situation, but some of that money is said to have been needed, with the remainder going into the transfer kitty for the rest of the summer. The difference between Leeds United's situation and the points deduction that Nottingham Forest received last year was that Nottingham Forest waited until September 1st to confirm the Brennan Johnson exit in order to gain an additional £15 million transfer fee. Leeds, on the other hand, commenced the deal in the 30th of June and got it completed by July 1st. Leeds would have been punished if they had breached the 3-year period of the £83 million losses between July 2021 and June 2024 period. Leeds are not expected to have breached that amount, although we won't find out officially until the next set of financial results are released by Leeds in the new year. We'll have to wait and see with that, but as of right now, that appears to be avoided. Also, that's come out today as well. There's an image floating around of the full Leeds United kit in a better look. You can see it on screen there now, the Red Bull logo in the middle of it, the blue and yellow trim on top, a better image that has now been seen in JD Sports over in the UK, so you can check that one out again as well if you want to. There's been a lot of exit talk, there's been a lot of rumours. We're seeing Cree, Donto, Somerville, Kamara, Llorente all being linked with exits away from Leeds United. We'll have to wait and see